rancher called me this morning, and they've been trying to mow their fields, and their fields are just devastated. They can't hardly drive a tractor over them. They're so rough. We told him we'd come up today and kind of scout the place out and try calling, kind of get the lay of the land, and then drive back through and hunt with thermals tonight. We set up on a big wallow about, it's probably 400 or 500 yards back this way, and we called for maybe 10 minutes. And anxious to get on with the hunt and move on to another spot, we got up. And instead of sitting there for a minute like we know to do, we just got up and started walking back to the truck. And when we did, this big boar come out of the sunflowers back into the area we were trying to get him to come out of. Talon said, "Dad, there's a big boar." Well, that boar circled right to where the call had been. He ignored us totally. He walked right past where the call had been and stopped and looked. Talon got on him real quick with the 223, and just as he started to move, Talon squeezed off a shot, and you can see he hit him low through the lungs and made a real good shot. But this is a big old hog. He's every bit of 300, maybe a little more than that. It's the biggest hog we've killed in a very long time. I think we killed one back during the winter that weighed like 310 or something like that. He's quite a bit bigger than her. So anyway, we trailed him back in here, and he was trying to get up. Talon put the finishing touches on him with a little 38 that he is carrying. That's a big old boar, son. That's probably the biggest hog you've killed, isn't it?
Probably.
So anyway, as a rule, when you finish making a call sequence, sit there for a couple more minutes and pay attention, because some of them are a little late to come, and some of them just won't come until the sound quits, and they just come on in and check things out. We should have stayed on the stand a little longer. It would have made really good video. Unfortunately, we didn't get video, but we did get a hog. Get on him. Let him come, if you will. Let him keep coming. Kill him. Good job, Jayden.
Awesome, man.
Landowner called today, and they've been trying to mow these fields, and the hogs have torn these fields up so bad that they said it's just literally beating them to death, and they've got some big old tractors, so there's holes rooted up out here big enough to lose a pickup in. They've just really tore these fields up. Anyway, I told him we'd come in today and kind of scout it out and try setting up doing some calling, since this is our first trip in for this. And we set up over here earlier, and we called for about 7 or 8 minutes, and we quit, and we were anxious to move on, and got up and started moving, and a big boar came in. I mean, a big old boar, and Talon shot him and killed him. We didn't get it on film because we were headed back to the truck. We'd been sitting here about 9 minutes calling this field, and this hog came from way back this way, and there's an old corral trap there, and there's hog traps all over this place, but the landowner said they're just not catching them. I mean, it don't look like this corral trap's been used in years, and that's where that boar come from. But anyway, we set up on this field trying to call hogs out of this area where it's real thick, and it looks like maybe there's a draw back in there. Noggender, didn't you? Noggender's the German word for headshot.
Kind of gave her the scrat look.
I would have bet money that was a boar coming in. It had its hackle raised.
Me too.
Coming in so hard. That hog came from a long ways off. And, well, I mean, look at that hackle. That hackle was standing up the whole way in. It ain't, it's a sow. She's pretty heavy with pigs. And that's a good eating hog right there. We're gonna dress her out. Yeah, I see them. That's hogs. Bunch of hogs. Okay, now they're to the tank.
Dang it.
He went down. You hit it, Scout. Get on them others. Oh, there's more. They're right here. Let them come if they will. Just let them go. Well, if you can get on one, kill it. Get on that biggest one in the middle, or the one leading. There's a big one leading. I'm ready whenever you are. Which one did you hit? Did it fall? That one's laying right there. I thought Oh, there was more than these 17.
I'm looking at it. You can't see it very good.
Is that the first one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was this far out.
Well, it wasn't when she shot. It ran.
We decided to take the kids out hunting this afternoon, and we had 6 stands and 5 stands we called hogs up on. And today Talon killed a big boar, and Jayden killed a sow that came in. And we got out here and started calling, and we could hear water sloshing down on a tank down here, and where the hogs were down there playing in the water before we could ever see them. And we started calling and just left it going, and here for long they were just pouring out from everywhere, and they just ran right straight up there to us. And I got this one. I thought she was gonna run over us. She wasn't as close as what I thought when we walked out here, but she looked really close in that thermal. I was starting to get concerned there for a minute. This may be him.
Oh dang, that's a big one. Yeah, he ain't getting up. That's that big wet one you shot at, isn't it? The one that looked like he was wet in the thermal.
All I could see was his head.
Yeah.
The rest of him was...
Talon and Jayden's birthdays are about 10 days apart, so we've been on birthday hog hunting trips nearly every day this week in celebration of their birthdays. And this has been a phenomenal day. We've made 6 stands and called in hogs on 5 of them. And we didn't get to kill them on 2 of them, but we definitely called them in. We saw them, but we were calling at night, and they just get downwind of you a long time before you can see them. Anyway, we set up, there's a road that cuts across this field. It's not really a road, just a trail. And we've seen hogs wallowing in these ponds off and on, and we pulled up there and stopped, and we're going to just try calling in the wide open, which we don't do very often. We usually call next to timber, bedding areas, sanctuaries, stuff like that, where they feel safe. But it's dark, so we thought, why not? Let's just sit right in the middle of this great big field and call and see what happens. We got out and killed the truck. We could hear something splashing in this pond. We assumed it was hogs. And we started calling, and right away something popped up on the end of that pond, and it just stayed there, never moved. And Michelle said, I'm pretty sure it's a hog. It was too far away, but it just kept standing there, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't going anywhere.
And probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 minutes into calling, or maybe a little longer, hogs just started pouring out of that property next door. There's a big mesquite flat over there, and a big pond on that other side. And I mean, they literally were just boiling out of there, coming to us, and they were coming on the run. And when they did, that other one came with them. So it was a hog the whole time. Anyway, a sow peeled away from the group, and she came right down the road, and I thought she was literally going to run over us. I wish the camera would show the call in the dark, because she couldn't have been 5 feet from it. And Michelle shot her, and she peeled off to the side, and she shot her again and dropped her. Well, we just kept calling, and they came back twice more. And there was a big wet looking hog in the bunch, and this was it. We're calling with the Bullet HP from Convergent Hunting Solutions. I've got it loaded with my own sounds. I've recorded, well, I say I've got it loaded. That's old habit. Actually, the sounds are on your phone. If you've got a smartphone, the Convergent Hunting Solutions has an app, and they have sounds, but right now I'm using my own sounds I've recorded, and I've been playing with them, and that one sound's just been phenomenal. I've called in so many hogs with it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've used similar sounds in the past, and I recorded that one a few months ago, and I've already lost track of how many hogs we've called in and killed with it. It's just been incredible. And like I say, I don't want people to think that every time you go out and call, you're going to call in hogs. It's not like that. It's just like calling predators or rattling up a big whitetail or calling turkeys or anything. Some days they bite, some days they don't. Today they're biting, and we thought it was because we were on a new ranch, and we started out at the new ranch and we made 5 stands there, called in hogs on 4 of them. But we have hunted this place to death over the past 2 years, and off and on we will call in a hog here, but the hogs here are tough hunting. And we came in here and very first stand we lit it up, and man, here they came. So today they're biting, and that's the best way I know to explain it. When you go fishing, you don't always catch fish, and that's just the only way I've ever been able to describe it to people. When they're biting, and when they're not, they're not. There's not a happy medium. And that's not the first time that's happened to us. We've called and called and called and not called in a hog at all, and then saw hogs and killed them.
Sometimes not rushing your stands.
Yeah.
Taking a little more time, we get impatient and we sit down and we call, and if something doesn't come in pretty quick, we're already antsy and wanting to get up and move. And the first one that we called in today, boy, if we'd have just stayed put just a little bit longer, he'd have come in perfect to have gotten it on film.
He was a 350 pound boar, and this one here's in the same class. This hog is huge.
So sometimes take 15, 20 minutes and just sit and let it run.
Oh, I ain't sitting that long.
Yeah, you can do it.
No, if they're coming, if they want me to kill them, they're
I'm
gonna have to get there.
pretty sure we were there that long earlier. At least 15.
No, we were there about 10 minutes.
That was it?
Yeah, and
it seemed like 15.
It did. But if they want me to kill them, they're gonna have to get there in a hurry.
Nice.
Visit eotecinc.com.
Alamo Precision Rifles. The best rifles this side of the Pecos. aprifles.com.
Hornady. Accurate, deadly, dependable. Pink's Paint and Body. Decatur, Texas. Mallory Orthodontics. MalloryOrtho.com. 2K Pawn and Gun. Decatur, Texas.
Carrillo and Tibbles, Attorney at Law.